So let's welcome Mr. Ged. Hi, Ged. How are you?
Hi, yes, nice to meet you. Hello, everybody. Happy to be talking to you today from
Thank
Los
you very
Angeles,
much.
California.
Thank you. Can you tell us, Jed, about your experience in general and about how you approached, the audit clients in your long experience? And now you have a consultancy firm, which is a fresh pair of eyes, which also offers audit and consultancy services, but in a different approach.
Yes, so again, thanks for inviting me to talk today. And I guess the theme that I'd like to talk about is around business understanding and being able to liaise and communicate and establish relationship with business partners to help the audit process. As you mentioned, I've had a 35-year career, both in the UK and the US, with some amazing global companies, very well-known branded companies. And really, I've had a terrific career out of internal audit. It's been fantastic. And what I've got out of that is traveled extensively around the world, worked with some amazing business guys and professionals, worked on some awesome audits and investigations that have been challenging and rewarding. But one of the things that I really take away that I've loved about my career is just the opportunity to get close to those businesses that I've worked with. It's been a real highlight. So whether it was with British Airways and looking at all of their operations in the US and understanding how a British airline becomes a big deal in the United States, or with Colgate-Palmolive, how they were successful in markets like Senegal, in Africa, where they have production and marketing of limited products, through to, say, looking at Disney's park in Tokyo, which is actually a licensee arrangement with a Japanese company. And then within Fox, looking at how we distributed Hollywood product in controlled markets like Russia and China. So those experiences and really getting to understand the business have been one of the highlights. But if I was to talk about something that I've learned over this time, one of the things that as audit departments, when we seek feedback from our clients and our customers, we typically do well on the technical stuff, on our professionalism. But from what I've observed with many companies, is the thing that we're least well rated on is business understanding, and it's consistent. The business guys, I think, feel that we're maybe a different type of person who don't really understand their business and don't sort of connect and communicate with them like business people. So it's one thing that I've tried to ensure with my audit groups, that we improve that capability and that the business sees us as really valued partners. So there's some things that we did to help that and affect that. First thing is to really understand what business understanding is. When Fox Audit merged with Disney Audit last year, we saw some real cultural differences. And one of them was around business understanding. So in their training manual, business understanding, there was a big thick training manual like this. Business understanding was kind of one page, very, very limited. And that was, and what it talked about and what they trained was all around business processes. Business understanding is not anything to do with business processes. Business understanding is really understanding what the business's objectives are, really learning what the business does, who it does it with, what management has on their mind the most, how do they, what are their goals, what is the organization looking for them, what are their obstacles wherever they are, and what does the business look like? It's really nothing to do with processes at all. And of course, auditors, very comfortable talking about processes, very quickly default to those sort of conversations. And that's when you begin to lose management. They are happy to talk about their operations. And key to that is not sounding like an auditor. if you ever see a general manager or a leader of an organization, present to the corporate group, you could look at a 60, 70-page presentation, and I guarantee you, you will never see in that presentation the words segregation of duties.
Right.
We have a language as auditors which we're very comfortable talking about, but when we start to sound like auditors, we talk about the things that are important to us. We don't engage with management. So it's really important to lose the audit speak. When you're talking to business people, sound like a business person, talk in the language that they talk in, and you're going to get a much better connection, and you're not going to get lose their interest, which you could do very quickly.
This is very interesting, but I mean, how internal auditors can reach to this approach? I mean, internal auditors in general tend to get qualifications in internal audit and risk management and fraud investigations, but unfortunately, they don't get certifications or qualifications in the business or the sector. Or
it's absolutely right, and of course that's one of the reasons why it's probably the thing that we're rated least well at, because it's the hardest thing to train and develop. You can't go to university and in your professional exams you don't do something called business understanding. So there's a number of ways to get that. Focus on some soft skills and communication skills. Those can be trained. You can practice communications. You can invite some of your customers to help you train that. The customers really want their auditors to understand their business. They love it when you do. And if you invite and ask their help, they're going to be very willing to give it. I also used in my audit groups not just internal audit experts. I invited accountants and finance personnel, not quite 50-50, but in considerable proportion into my group. So I equipped my team with other disciplines. The finance guys and the accounting guys whose history is working with management on a day-to-day basis, they've developed that skill set. When you blend that type of resource with typically like auditors and internal auditors, that helps them learn some of those communications.